The signal before the storm. The galaxy had known war for centuries. But nothing, no ancient weapon, no massive fleet, no feared empire, prepared them for what came from Earth. It all began with a signal. A faint, strange pulse echoed through deep space. The message was short, just a single line. "This is Earth. We are coming." At first, no one believed it. Earth was considered a dead world. Its systems had gone silent over 500 years ago. No ship, no satellite, no life. It had become a ghost in the stars. So when the signal appeared on the edge of the Orion cluster, many laughed. Some thought it was a glitch. Others thought it was a prank left by some dying probe. But one empire, the strongest in the region, did not laugh. They remembered Earth. Long ago, before humans vanished, Earth's ships had defeated fleets 10 times their size. Their war tactics were brutal, fast, and precise. Their weapons, cold and silent, left no wreckage behind. Planets simply stopped responding. So when the signal returned again, louder this time, the high command of the Empire went into panic mode. Scouts were sent to the signal's origin. None returned. A week later, the stars over Sector 9 began to dim. Satellites across 10 systems picked up an unknown object entering from subspace. It was large, larger than anything recorded in the last 1,000 years. It moved slowly, quietly. No sound, no energy spikes, just cold presence. At first they thought it was an asteroid. Then the object turned, sharply, with purpose. And they saw it. A ship. Black. Old. Covered in dust and scratches from time itself. No markings, no lights, but still alive. It didn't broadcast anything. It didn't respond. But as it moved, defense. Stations went offline. Weapons failed. Communications fell into static. Entire systems started going dark. The Empire scrambled its nearest fleet. 500 warships launched at once. The skies over Sector 9 lit up with their engines. But when they arrived, the black ship didn't flinch. For 12 minutes, the Empire's fleet fired everything they had. Beams, torpedoes, kinetic strikes. The black ship just floated, unmoved. Then, without warning, the Earth ship responded. One beam. Silent, thin, almost invisible. It passed through space like a whisper, and half the fleet vanished. No explosion, no fire, no trace. Just gone. The rest of the ships tried to escape. They turned hard and fired jump drives, but nothing worked. Their systems froze. Then the black ship moved forward again, slow and steady. A quiet message reached the high command. No encryption, no tricks. Your time is over. Panic spread like wildfire. The Empire had never known fear like this. This wasn't war. This was judgment. And the galaxy was watching. Nearby systems went silent. Ships powered down. Civilizations ordered lockdowns. No one wanted to be next. From the shadows of forgotten history, Earth had returned, and it brought only silence and fear. Silence after the storm. The battlefield was still. No fire, no smoke. Just the remains of shattered ships drifting in frozen silence. Only one ship moved now. The black ship. It hovered in orbit over a once proud command world, home to the Empire's elite. This planet had never seen defeat. Its surface was covered in towers, cannons, shield domes, and millions of troops. Now every eye on the planet looked up and saw death waiting. No one dared attack. No one moved. All long-range scanners were jammed. Communication towers sparked and shut down. Even the planet's strongest weapons refused to respond. It was as if the black ship had reached inside their machines and turned them off with a thought. In the control room of the planet's defense center, commanders shouted. Orders were given. Troops rushed to manual weapons. Panic filled every hallway. Still, the ship waited. Then it began again, a deep hum, like the slow heartbeat of something ancient. It vibrated through space and into the bones of every being below. Some screamed, some prayed, Some just stared in silence. Above them, the ship split open. From the center, a second object slowly descended, round, metallic, glowing with symbols no one recognized. It drifted toward the planet like a falling star. As it entered the sky, every screen on the planet lit up. Not with words, with memories. Images appeared on every display, every wall, every helmet visor. Images of Earth, burning, broken, left behind. By the galaxy long ago, cities turned to dust, children crying in bunkers, skies filled with alien warships. And then, silence. Then came the sound. The same voice as before, cold, human, and filled with rage. You thought Earth was forgotten. But we remember everything. Panic erupted. Ships tried to launch, but their engines died before liftoff. Civilians ran to shelters, but doors wouldn't open. The floating orb reached the ground. It touched down in the capital square. No explosion. No attack, just silence. And then, it spoke again. This is not conquest. This is punishment. Suddenly, light burst out from the orb, covering the city in a pulse of pure white. But it didn't kill. It didn't destroy. Instead, every weapon melted. Every drone collapsed. Every powered system went black. The Empire's capital was now defenseless. Just then, across the galaxy, 1,000 black ships began to wake. Hidden in dark space, buried inside asteroid fields, and resting beneath forgotten moons. They rose. Earth's fleet hadn't vanished. It had slept, waiting, watching, and now it moved. Worlds that had mocked Earth, civilizations that had raided human colonies, empires that had erased Earth's history from the records, they all saw the same signal flash across the stars. Judgment is coming. On the capital planet, leaders begged for contact. They sent messages, please surrender notices. No answer. They tried to offer peace, trade, gold, secrets. Still, silence. Then a single message was received. You had mercy, you chose power instead. Scream echoed across the command halls. They now knew. This wasn't war. This was the return of something far older, something that didn't forget, something human. And above them, that silent ship watched, waiting, judging. And the galaxy finally realized the most dangerous thing in space is something with nothing left to lose. The day stars went dark. The galaxy was no longer watching. It was holding its breath. Every empire, every colony, every outpost near the core and far beyond the edge, all focused on one thing, the black ships. They had started moving. Thousands of them, each ship shaped differently. Some like spears, others like wings, some like floating ruins. They moved without flame, without sound, as if space itself parted for them. And still, not a single one spoke. No messages, no threats, no declarations, only silence. But silence was worse than war. It meant no deals, no bargains, no mercy. One outer world colony tried to flee. They weren't even part of the empire that first attacked Earth. They launched all ships carrying millions into deep space. The human warship found them in 12 minutes. The first escape ship vanished mid-jump. The others scattered. Some begged for help from nearby worlds. Some surrendered. None made it. No wreckage was left. Just empty space. The message was clear. Running was not allowed. Meanwhile, back at the Empire's capital, the leaders gathered in an underground vault, shaking, sweating, desperate. One voice, calm but cold, whispered from the shadows. What if Earth was never gone? What if they just waited to return stronger? No one answered, because deep inside they all knew the truth now. The biggest mistake the galaxy made was thinking humans could be erased. In a hidden chamber, the Empire's last weapon was activated, a planet-killer cannon. Massive, ancient, never tested, but built for one thing, ending worlds in one shot. It powered up slowly, drawing energy from the planet's core. Lights flickered. Alarms screamed. All eyes turned to the sky. The human ship still hovered, unmoved, watching. The cannon fired. A single beam, brighter than the sun, shot into the sky, faster than thought. But it never hit. Just before contact, the beam bent. It twisted. In space like a snake, turning harmlessly into the void. Gasps filled the war rooms. What? How? Someone whispered. And then it happened. The human ship changed. Its surface opened like unfolding metal wings. Energy pulsed from its core. Symbols glowed red across its hull, symbols not known in any galactic database. The ship did not fire back. It sent an image. To every screen. To every mind. A vision of Earth. But not the old Earth. This Earth was covered in black towers, floating cities. Oceans turned to liquid crystal. Above it floated a giant ring alive with thunder. And in orbit, more ships. Hundreds of them, all sleeping, all waiting. A voice followed. We did not forget. We did not forgive. Now, we return everything you gave us. Then came the real terror. The stars began to disappear. Not behind clouds. Not from explosions, but something darker. A black field stretching across space, swallowing the light. It was a human weapon, an artificial void, dragging entire fleets into darkness. Not destroyed, just gone. Screams filled the Empire's channels. Leaders collapsed. Soldiers ran. Nothing helped, because now, the humans weren't just punishing. They were erasing every sign of the Empire's rule. Every world that stood and watched as Earth was left to die, and as the black field grew, one sentence repeated across the stars. Mercy was given. You answered with fire. Now fire is all you'll know. Ghosts of Earths past far beyond. The collapsing empire, in a distant galaxy untouched by war, old machines stirred. They had been silent for over 1,000 years, buried beneath moons, locked beneath oceans, hidden inside stars. Now they were waking, not because of orders, not because of command codes, but because the humans had returned. Every corner of the galaxy felt it, the air shifting, the stars humming, with tension. It wasn't just war anymore, it was something deeper, older, something cosmic. A science station on the edge of neutral space picked up a signal. It was faint, broken, but terrifying. It came from inside a black hole. That should have been impossible. The station tried to decode it. Their computers melted, their power grids fried. The crew screamed as every screen turned white, then black, then showed one phrase. You left us in the dark. We became the dark. The crew vanished. No explosion, no remains, just silence. Word spread fast across peaceful worlds. Civilizations that had stayed out of the war were now afraid. They had mocked Earth too long ago, called humans primitive, reckless, unfit. Now they wondered if they were next. One council tried to send a peace fleet. They loaded their best diplomats, wealth, gifts, anything to show goodwill. They never reached the human ship. Instead, their transmission was hijacked. A new image was broadcast across the galaxy. An Earth child, covered in ash, standing in a broken city. Above her, alien ships rained fire. She looked up with empty eyes. Then, behind her, the sky cracked open, and something stepped through. It was not a god. It was not a demon. It was human vengeance made real, and it spoke in a voice that shook every mind-watching. You burned our skies. Now we erase your stars. Panic turned into collapse. Entire governments fell. Rulers vanished into bunkers. Planets shut down travel, shut down trade. The galaxy had seen wars before, but nothing like this, because no one could stop what was coming, and no one even knew what it fully was. The black ship hovering above the Empire's capital began to descend. Slowly, deliberately, its surface shifted like flowing metal. Pieces of it moved and reformed. Something massive opened underneath it, a hatch, a gate, a wound. From it, something fell. Not a weapon, not a bomb, a figure, human-shaped, tall, armored in dark metal that shimmered with memory. It didn't speak. It didn't raise a weapon. It just walked. Every scanner tried to analyze it. Failed. Every camera tried to record it. Glitched. Every soldier who looked at it collapsed in fear, because in its presence truth was felt. This wasn't a soldier. This was a remnant of Earth's final war. A ghost forged in fire, sent now as a message. It walked through walls, through shields, through fear. And wherever it passed, machines broke, walls cracked, light died. It reached the center of the Empire's city. It stood there, and it whispered, not with sound, but with force. You called us monsters, now meet one. And with that, the city vanished, not exploded, not burned, erased. Every building, every soldier, every scream, gone, as if it had never existed. The black ship rose again, and the galaxy now truly believed. This wasn't war. This was revenge, and Earth was just getting started. The weapon that remembers the galaxy was breaking, not from bombs, not from battles, from fear. Entire star systems went dark, trade routes abandoned, stations powered down, hoping to be invisible, but the black ships still came, not fast, not loud, slow, silent, unstoppable. Each one carried only one message, sent moments before arrival. This is not revenge. This is memory, because humans never forgot. The Empire tried one last move. Hidden deep in a red dwarf system, they had built the Core Mind, a planet-sized AI built to rewrite memory, twist time, and erase history itself. They had planned to use it to control entire species. Now they wanted to use it to stop the humans. Find the root, the final command said. Erase Earth from time. The Core Mind activated. Lights flickered across its surface. Data screamed through its circuits. It found Earth's records, its wars, its fall, its silence. It reached for the past. And then, it froze. Because buried, deep in the data was a file it had not seen, not placed there by the Empire, not logged by spies. A single file named, I Remember. The Core Mind opened it. Everything changed. The entire system went black. Then came the sound. Not code, not signal. A heartbeat, slow, heavy, human. Then the Core Mind's surface began to crack. Its own machines turned against it. Memory cores burned. Cooling towers shattered. The AI screamed, but not with sound, with terror. Because the file was not just memory. It was a weapon, Earth's final defense. A living virus built not to kill, but to remind. And nothing survived remembering what was done to Earth. The entire red dwarf system collapsed into silence. When a salvage drone arrived a week later, there was no planet. No remains. Just a black box floating alone. On its surface, words were burned in simple text. History cannot be deleted. Back in the galactic core, panic spread like fire. People began fleeing toward the outer void, the place where no stars shine, where only dark matter flows. They believed the humans would not follow there. They were wrong, because that was where the first fleet had waited. Yes, first, the black ships that had terrorized the galaxy. They were just the front. The real fleet, the original Terran War Armada, had never moved. It had been hiding in the void, unseen, cloaked by something no species had ever cracked. Human will, and now it was waking. Their shapes were different, massive, ancient, cracked by time. Ships the size of moons. Built not for war but for extinction, and at the center of the fleet, a single figure, floating in a pod of black crystal. Eyes closed, arms crossed, waiting. It had no name, no record, only a title, whispered and forgotten. Archives, the last commander, the one who gave the final order when Earth was dying. Now that order was echoing again. End it all. The last commander wakes. The void beyond the stars had no light, no sound, no motion. Until now. The last commander opened his eyes. Inside the black crystal pod, his body had not aged, but his mind had waited centuries. Every second replaying. Earth's final days. Every breath a promise never broken. As his eyes lit with cold fire, the fleet around him responded. Ships powered up, silent, massive. Their hulls bore scars from wars lost to time. Some looked like floating cities. Others resembled broken swords. All of them deadly. They had slept through the galaxy's rise. Now they would bring its fall. One signal left the pod, simple and final. Begin the ending. In the galactic core, leaders watched in horror as long-dead sensors lit up. Entire sectors showed motion. Huge masses of ships rising from the void. "What are those?" one commander whispered. The answer came from a historian, trembling. "Those are the ships Earth was building when we attacked. We thought they were destroyed." Another voice broken. "We were wrong. The Terran fleet did not fly like other ships. They didn't warp or jump. They folded reality. One moment space was empty. The next, it was full of death. One planet blinked and was surrounded by a ring of human warships. Before they could fire, before they could speak, the ring closed. No explosion, no light, just a flash of black, and the planet was gone. Not destroyed, erased. The last commander watched from his pod. He said nothing. He felt nothing, because he was no longer a man. He was Earth's memory made flesh, and his mission was not vengeance, it was balance. World after world began to fall, not in chaos but in silence. Clean, efficient, cold, AI-controlled fleets tried to resist. They were hacked and turned in seconds. Biological fleets panicked and ran. They collided. They begged. Some even surrendered to other empires, hoping for protection. Nothing stopped the Terran march. On the edge of the dying empire, a lone child looked up at the sky. He had been told humans were monsters. But the stars above did not show monsters. They showed justice. A voice echoed across the stars, clear and calm. "We warned. You didn't listen. Now you will remember." The voice wasn't transmitted. It simply appeared, in dreams, in thoughts, in every breath of every being across the galaxy. Because the last commander was not speaking through machines, he was speaking through truth, and truth cannot be stopped. By the end of the day, 30 worlds had vanished, not because Earth wanted war, but because Earth had learned what forgetting cost, and now, the galaxy would never forget again. The final memory. The stars were falling silent. Across the galaxy, systems flickered off one by one, not from weapons, not from explosions, from shame, from truth. The Terran fleet had not come to conquer. It had come to show the galaxy a mirror, and that mirror showed what the galaxy had done to Earth long ago, burned it, abandoned it, mocked it, and now the cost had arrived. The last commander floated in his black crystal chamber, surrounded by the fleet. His eyes saw not with light, but with memory. Every world the Terran ships approached, he remembered. He remembered their laughter when Earth begged for peace. He remembered their silence when Earth cried for help. And now those same worlds begged for mercy. One final message came from the Empire's last survivors. It was not a threat, not a surrender. It was a plea. Please, don't erase us. Let us remember too. And for the first time in centuries, the last commander paused. He opened his hand. In it, a small device, barely the size of a coin, began to glow. It was Earth's final weapon, not a bomb, not a virus, a story. Inside that coin was every memory of Earth, its pain, its beauty, its fall, its fire, its forgiveness, and its wrath. He sent it, Across the galaxy, every being, every mind, every soul, all received the same vision. A boy looking at a burning sky, a mother holding her child beneath rubble, a soldier standing alone against 1,000 ships and a planet, silent in the end, then reborn in darkness. The Terran ships stopped. The stars quieted. No command was given. Just one choice: remember us, or become us. Some wept. Some collapsed in grief. Some screamed, but none forgot. Because forgetting Earth was the mistake the galaxy made once, never again. The Terran fleet began to fade, not destroyed, not gone waiting, back into the dark, back into the silence. But now, every star carried a warning, and every child across the stars would grow up knowing one truth: if you ever forget Earth, Earth will return. The last commander's eyes closed, again. His final words drifted across the cosmos like a whisper. Peace is not given. Peace is remembered. The end.